What's up, bee lovers, bee haters, and homegrown tomatoes? We've got another cool bee removal here for you today. This was at Nelson University out in Waxahachie. It is a beautiful 121-year-old historic building, and it was an absolutely beautiful campus. Before we get started, I did want to give a huge shout out to Commercial Roofing based out of Hurst, Texas, for recommending this job for us. They were super easy to work with, and I really appreciate their consideration for us to let us do this. So we did this just like we do everything else. There was this 1.5 foot by 1.5 foot cavity, kind of a decoration space that they had on the building. Absolutely perfect for bees, so they decided to make a home there. I did want to take just a moment. We're going to start vacuuming here in just a minute, and I did want to take just a moment to explain the vacuum. I've had a few people ask that we're supposed to be saving the bees, right? And we do. This vacuum, I'm not sponsored or anything by this company, but this vacuum is a very specialized vacuum for vacuuming up bees. It's called the Colorado Bee Vac. It's the exact shape of a bee box, so it makes transferring the bees from their old home to their new home very, very easy. And it's very, very easy for the bees as well. I'm not going to say that we never lose any bees, but on average, 95 to 99% of the bees survive the removal process. And a lot of that is thanks to the Colorado Bee Vac. So this was one cool part of the video here. I'm going to show you here in a second. We got, obviously, y'all have seen, we've got bee bread there in the middle, and then we've got some capped brood around the edge. But the cool part is, if you'll look really closely, that's actually a bee chewing himself out of his capped brood cell, herself, sorry about that. And so she's actually being born right now. And this is the vacuum I was talking about. We can control how hard the suction is. And so we usually start off a little lower, and if we need a little extra suction, we'll turn it up. But even at max suction, it really doesn't harm the bees at all. So just to clarify that, I've had a few people asking about that. I think we ended up getting about 15 frames, 15 pieces of comb out of this section of the building, which is quite a bit. It wasn't the largest colony we've ever done, but it definitely by no means was a small colony. One of the ones that I'm going to pull out here in just a second was absolutely loaded down with honey. So when you have a decent sized piece of comb filled with honey, that thing can be upwards of 20 pounds or more. Honey is very heavy. You'll see that we place it in a separate box because the bees don't really travel super well with the honey. It tends to uncap, get all over the bees, and kind of just create a mess that they have to clean up, and that's just a lot more work for them. So we do give the honey back to the bees when we take them to the new bee yard, and we let them clean it up and then store it back up in their box nice and cleanly without interference from us and making a huge mess that could potentially harm the bees and kill some of the bees. This is actually the piece right here. That thing was so heavy, and you'll see in just a second, I press my thumb down in here and look at all that honey come out of there. So this thing was just absolutely filled with honey, and we placed that in the nuke that we had there specifically for the honeycomb. So just want to tell you guys, thank y'all for watching. We are now on all platforms: YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. So please, if you're not on all of them, please get on all. We post different stuff. But thank you guys for watching, and have a good day.